Good afternoon, class. So today I want to teach you how to determine the colony forming unit, no, in a sample. So di ba, I have discussed a while or weeks ago before the exam about determination of the concentration of microorganisms, and one of those means of determining the concentration is by um, performing serial dilutions, especially if you initially know that your sample contains a high number of microorganisms or bacteria in particular. So we also do series of serial dilution, and then we plate out our sample, no? So we either use a pour plate technique or a spread plate technique. And after that, um, we will compute for the CFU. All right. Allow me to share my screen. Okay. So you can at least visualize what I am talking about. Okay, so again, serial dilutions are used to calculate the concentration of microorganisms, as it would usually be impossible to actually count the number of microorganisms in a sample. Like for example, in your fermented products or in your dried fish or smoked fish, right? So the sample is diluted just like this one as shown in the illustration here. The sample is diluted and plated to get a reasonable number of colonies to count. So for example, this is your fermented product. We know that in fermented product, there's a lot of organisms present in there. Now we have the three groups, the fungi, the bacteria, and possibly virus. But hopefully walang virus. Okay, so in this lecture, I will be teaching you how to determine the CFU, bacterial CFU. Okay, so if you know initially that our sample has high number of bacteria in particular, you will be doing a serial dilution. So how do you do that? You take 1 ml of this mixed well na sample, and then you put it in 9 ml broth. So 1 ml plus 9 ml, it becomes 10. So that's 10%. No, your sample is 10% of the whole sample mixture in the first tube. And then, so that's your 10 raised to negative 1. Assuming that your sample here is in its pure form. Kumbaga, it's not diluted. It was not diluted initially. So, halimbawa, pure na bagoong, and then you add around 10 ml or exactly 10 ml into this 9 ml tube. So that makes your 10 raised to the negative 1 dilution. And then you mix this very well, and then you take 1 ml from here and then transfer it to the second tube. So this is your 10 raised to the negative 2. And so on. Mix, take 1 ml, transfer to the third tube, mix, transfer 1 ml to the fourth tube, and then mix. So you do a series of dilution until such time that you think you can already obtain a countable number of colonies when you plate it. Okay. So we call that colonies as your colony forming unit. So the formula in doing that, or in determining the CFU, is this one. So N equals the summation of C, in which N represents the number of colonies per ml or gram of product. Summation of C is the sum of all the colonies on all plates counted. And then N1 here refers to the number of plates in the first dilution counted. So this is constant, no? 1 times the number of plates counted in the first countable dilution, and then plus the number of plates counted in the second countable dilution. And this is, and so on, no? Pag you have third dilution, the third countable dilution, so you make it 0.0 1 times N3, kung ilang plates naman yung countable in that dilution. And then you multiply everything with the dilution or with the first dilution or the dilution from which the first count here were obtained. So for example, this is 10 raised to the negative 2. So your D here will be 10 times 10 raised to the negative 2. So that's around, so that's 0.01. So ganun. Okay, so take note that you take, for example, if you want to do spread plate, no? Spread plate, you take 0.1 ml here and then you put it in your on your agar and then you spread it, no? And then you take and you do that in triplicate. So you have 3 plates, usually in triplicate. So you have 3 plates here, no? And then you take 0.1 ml, spread in your plate, the second plate, and then in the third plate. And then you also take 0.1 ml in the next dilution here, and then plate it out, no, in 3 Petri plates or 3 agar nutrient agar plates. Ayan. So ayan, and then you take another here, tatlo na naman na plates, and then you take another 3 plates for this, no, 0.1 pa rin, 0.1 ml, at ipi-plate out mo hanggang makompleto mo siya. Okay? So the next thing that you're going to do is we have a notes here, and daming notes, no? Guidelines for calculating and reporting APCs in uncommon cases. Ito yung mga uncommon cases. So usually, the countable plates that I was referring to kanina is the Petri plate or the agar plate that contains 25 to 250 colonies. So you count the colonies in all your plates, no? If you think that it's below 25, you disregard it. If it's above 250, you also disregard it, okay? But depending on your reference, in some cases, the countable plates that being considered are those plates with 30 to 300 colonies. So, but in our case, we'll just take a plate with plates with 25 to 250 colonies. So, okay. So if all of your dilutions have more than 250 colonies, so dapat nag-continue ka pa ng dilution, right? So hopefully yung makuha mo, yung ma-plate out mo will give you normal plates or countable plates, so that would contain 25 to 250 colonies. All right, so ito yung mga notes like how do you count your colonies? So you take a permanent marker and then bawat growth doon i-mark mo with your marker. So you won't be counting again those colonies that have been counted earlier. Ayan. So ito yung notes for the spreaders, and then ito yung notes for the plates with no CFU. So kung all plates are below 25 colonies, you'd also have to make a report on that. And the notes here is saying, when plates from all dilutions have no colonies, report APC as less than the corresponding lowest dilution used. So mark calculated APC with asterisk to denote that it was estimated from counts outside the 25 to 250 per plate range. Ayan. So let's go now to our examples, no? So you have to remember the formula. Okay, actually you don't have to memorize kasi we will not be having an exam about this. I'll just be giving you a quiz on this. Okay, so we have here the given, no? Ito yung dilution. So this is your 10 raised to the negative 2 and this is your 10 raised to the negative 3. Okay, so these are the counts. Okay, so by just looking at this, you know that we can consider as we can count this 232, sana yung aking cursor, 232, 244, and Yun, we will exclude the 301 because it's outside the 250, no? It's over 250. And then we can also count 33 and 28. We will exclude 15 because it's not within the normal plate range. Okay, so we have here 232, 244, 33, and 28. And then this is the 1, 0.01, 0.01, 0.1, 0.01, 0.001, 0.0001 are constant. Kapag madami kang kinakount mga dilution, you will be needing all those numbers, yung 1.01, 0.01. 0.1, 0.01. Okay? But ang nagiging variable dito is this one, the number of plates na that's being counted in the first countable dilution. So in this case, the first countable dilution is 10 raised to the negative 2. Kaya ito yung andito. Okay? So we have 2 plates that can be counted in this dilution. So that's why there's 2 here. And then 0.1, as I've said earlier, it's constant times the number of countable plates. So in this case, ito naman yung countable plate. I'm sorry. Ito naman yung countable plate. So there are 2. So 0.1 times 2 times the first countable dilution. So ito yon. 10 raised to the negative 2. So you just take the total colonies counted in all countable plates. So that's 537 divided by, ito is, I add mo. So this is 2.1 times 10 raised to the negative 2. So it's 0.022. Okay, so this is the answer. Or 2.4 times 10 raised to the 4th. Ayan. CFU, kulang yung aking CFU per gram or per ml of sample. Okay, so let us check this example. So in this particular problem that's given, the first dilution shown here has no plate that falls within the countable range. No, but in the second dilution, in 10 raised to the negative 3, we have 2. In 10 raised to the negative 4, we have 1, 2, 3. And then in 10 raised to the negative 5, we have 2 plates. Okay, so the formula would be the total number of all the colonies from countable plates, and then 1 times 2, kasi we have 2 here. This is the first countable dilution. And then, well, 0.1 times 3 because we have 3. And then 0.01 times 2 kasi meron tayong dalawang plates. And since our first countable or the plates, no, that that was taken from the first countable dilution is galing dito sa 10 raised to the negative 3. So we use it here, 10 raised to the negative 3. So the total colonies is 840. And then 2 times 0.3, 2 plus 0.3 plus 0.02, ayan, times 10 raised to the negative 3. Ito siya. So this is the answer, 3,602,068 or 3.6 times 10 raised to the 5th, no? CFU or colony forming unit per gram of sample. So that's how you compute for CFU. So I'll be giving you 2 questions and you will work on that today. No? So please submit also your answer within the day. Okay, so thank you, and that's all. Bye, class.